Ow! Oh, hurt quite a lot.
Wrenching it up, gonna wrench it up.
Welcome to Saturday's Wrench.
Wrench.
Hey, what's up, and welcome back to my build videos. We're still working on the CB350, and today I'm gonna grind the shit out of some shit. Today we're gonna grind some tabs off the frame, and I'm probably gonna get to the rims and tires, and we'll get those apart and get the spokes off the rims. So looking forward to using this angle grinder. I've never used one before, but they look like a lot of fun. I have a cutting wheel on here right now, so it's called a cut-off wheel, and it's made from metal. You definitely want to make sure if you're doing this to get that type of blade. I'm not sure if you can see it, but it clearly is marked for metal, and it's a cut-off wheel. It's a lot thinner than some of the wheels. You can get a thicker wheel. This is would be for probably grinding. So after I finish cutting off some of the parts, I need to grind it down with this just to make it nice and smooth. So it's a pretty powerful tool, so make sure you're wearing gloves and safety goggles, and definitely don't want anything that's going to ignite near the bike when you're cutting, because sparks will be flying. Okay? I have my frame set up. I've secured it on the bottom here so it doesn't move around on me. That's important. If you don't have a stand, I'm just using a milk crate with some ratchet straps to secure the frame so it doesn't move around on me when I'm grinding it off. I'm going to grind off this tab, this, and the seat lock on the other side. For this, you definitely want to be wearing some glasses and safety goggles and a breather thing, because you're going to get some smoke and you're going to get some sparks flying around. My God, that was fun. This thing is awesome. So we got the tabs off, we got this seat lock off. We're definitely not going to be needing that anymore because we're going to be putting a new seat on here. So now I changed it to a thicker grinding wheel. So we're just going to grind off some of the parts that we cut off just to make it nice and clean. Okay, so I just figured out that I'm going to have to grind off all this stuff. So it's going to take a little bit of time. So I'm going to be grinding off this, probably cut off this in here, because what I want to do is fit a seat flat along here. So it's going to take some time to do. So when I grind it off, I'll come back and then we'll continue on from there. What's going on, everybody? So basically what we got going on here, I'm still working on the frame. So as you can see, I've got the frame grounded down pretty good now. I've gotten rid of this little piece that was under here that held the battery box in, the old battery box. So, and I've also taken away the tabs that were under here as well. So just to clean it up, give it a more streamlined look. What I'm hoping to do is build a little box, maybe a couple inches deep. I think it looks pretty neat. I still haven't cut the frame at the back yet. I'm still waiting to do that when I go to my friend's place, Rob Bullet over at Bullet Custom Cycles. He's gonna advise me exactly where to cut, because I don't want to make a mistake and cut that too short, or you know what I mean. So. But yeah, it looks pretty good. I think I grounded down the frame pretty nicely. It's all nice and even on the top, and I filed it down to give it a little bit smooth. But for now, I'm pretty happy with that. The angle grinder did a good job. I got it down pretty good, and it looks pretty nice. So that'll be all nice and neat when it's all powder coated. So it's getting there. I'm also just organizing my aluminum parts for cleaning and sanding. What I'm going to do is just let them soak for a while in the degreaser, and then I'll get these all nice and shined up. So hopefully this will be nice and new when it's all finished, but you can see it now. It's pretty, it's got a little bit of a scratch here. We're gonna get that sanded down and get that nice and shiny. Just gonna go for a nice shiny look with these aluminum parts on the side covers of the engine and the forks and the hubs too. Still working on the tire. I gotta take the tires off the rims, so that'll be next. Working on the rear wheel. I'm gonna start taking it apart here. I'm gonna be very careful to keep all these parts because I definitely want to keep this stuff. So working on the other side here. Just gonna take the axle right through. Now you can see the brake shoe comes right off here. That's your basically your rear wheel assembly, or your rear brake assembly here. Definitely gonna get these shoes looked at and replaced. But I'll leave this intact for now and just work on this. So what we have here is I have this circlip here that I need to expand and take off, and then I need to see these little tabs here. So these little tabs right here, you gotta flatten them. They're like little tabs that hug the bolt. You can see this one. That's when I press it down. They're really stiff, but you gotta push those out of the way so that you can take these 10 millimeter thin nuts off the wheel here to get this assembly off. So I'm just getting my little screwdriver in between them, and then I'm just flattening it out. So it's getting as flat as possible. That's a really good method that seemed to work the best. So now that I have that off, I can loosen these bolts off. Let's get a whack with my mallet there. And I'm just gonna do this one. This great little mallet trick is. So now you can see. And now you can see this little safety feature, and you can see those little tabs. So this little tab is it kind of goes up and hugs the bolt so that it doesn't move. And you can see how shiny and new it is in there. We're trying to get that restored. Let's remove the other one here. And you can see, so I have these two. I have these parts here, and then I'll make sure I hold on to these guys. That just comes right off, see? I need circlip pliers for this circlip here. My dad's digging one up right now, but trying to pry it off.
Bottom, so yeah. Why don't you try? Well, go ahead. You got it.
There you go.
You got it. That was in there pretty good, wasn't it? I've never seen that before.
Yeah. Got her off. Anyways, so there's your circlip. Hopefully I didn't ding it up too much taking it off there. This round. So I'm just taking off this washer here, and that should let the cog out. So you got your washer, then your circlip on top of that, and your cog should now slip out, and you can see how that works. It's an intelligent design there. Still working on this bearing retainer. So I don't have a bearing retainer removal tool. It's like a circle with 4 little bumps that fit right in there, and you can turn it and twist it. But best thing I got right now is my trusty old needle nose pliers. We finally got this bearing retainer loose. It seems to be coming out. I know you guys are cringing at me using these needle nose pliers, but I don't have the special Honda tool that is required for this. And yes, I dinged it up a little, but again, the old liquid wrench really came through again for this. So if you're ever doing this, just spray it in and let it soak, and it should come out. So what this does, basically, it's just to, so you can see the wheel bearing in there. So it just retains that. So I got some soap and water here, so that should just help the tire come loose from the rim. And just wet the outside. And I got my tire iron, so I'm just going to work on this. There we go. Fuck's sakes, man. This is impossible. So these guys aren't working out at all. I think I'm gonna have to go buy some tire irons, because this is not working out for me. I'm gonna leave the wheel for now. I can't seem to get the tires off, so I'm gonna move on with getting the parts ready for this powder coat. So I'm just removing these bushings. So I looked into getting these bushings out. You can see them in there. They're just packed in grease, and they're old, and they need to be replaced. There's no real other way to get those out. I saw a guy online, he put a hacksaw through there somehow, and got them out. But now, for now, I'm trying to bang them out with a punch and a mallet. They're probably gonna get damaged, but I'm gonna buy replacements anyway. So I got a few different kind of punches here. So my dad's tools here. Good old Joe, good old Crazy Joe came through. So I'm just gonna hack away here, see if we can get this out. It's almost coming here. Best results is with this hammer and this punch here. We'll see. It's starting to come. Yeah! Jam! Yeah, look at it. Smash the shit out of it. Yeah, you can see they get pretty damaged when you're trying to remove them, so yeah, just be careful. Well, look, it's gonna have to be replaced. So it's no real other way to get them out that I know of. I looked online, couldn't find anything, so we'll swing this around and we'll get that last one out. The small one works good for... Ow! Fuck! Fucking son of a whore! Let's go, last one here. Yes! That's all 4, baby. There you go. We got the swing arm, and we got all the bushings out. Now I can get this powder coat. Now I can clean it up, and I'll get this all this cleaned up. We'll get new bushings. That fucking sucked. Oh, look, I'm bleeding. Got myself pretty good. Oh well, what are you gonna do? It's all part of the process, right? Sacrifice. So now I could say I've literally bled over this bike. Fuck. Hopefully that's not too bad. I'm gonna go wash that off. Now that I have all the bushings out of the swing arm here, all my parts are pretty much ready for powder coating. So you have your chain guard, you have your brackets here that were on the side of the frame that you know, I'll probably use these to mount my rear sets. And then you have your center stand here, and these are just the caps for the end of the swing arm. So this is pretty good. It's looking pretty good. Feels good. I'm almost pretty much ready to take some stuff to powder coating. I gotta clean up some of the hubs and the engine covers. When I clean those up, I'm gonna take that along with me to get those clear coated at the same time, just to protect those after I give it a nice finish. Just get it nice and clear coated so you know, it doesn't stain easy or anything like that. So just working on this rear brake drum here. What I'm going to do is just take the needle nose pliers to this spring and this spring. We should be able to get the shoes off here, and then work on this little cotter pin assembly here. You can see how that's just a little cotter pin there. So just going to get this off so I can get it soaking away, and get it soaking away with the rest of the other stuff, and get it cleaned up nice and neat, because you can see it's pretty dirty. So I want to let that soak, and with the other aluminum parts, and it'll be nice and shiny when it's all done. Once we get the cotter pin out, you can take this little washer off there, and then when I take these springs out, it should be able to come out. And there you go. I'll probably have to replace these, but I'll keep these aside for now. I have the springs and everything here, so I'm going to make sure I keep these safe. I don't want to be losing those parts at all, so I'll keep that little assembly, and then that'll remind me to get new stuff. Get that in there. Get all my engine covers in there. So clean this up, get these soaked. You can see it's already starting to clean up. So I'll just get it as many parts covers as I can. I'll come back and move them around and get them shuffled, and we'll get them soaking for as long as we can. So I think that's going to wrap it up today. We did a lot of work. We got the frame all cut up, grinded that down with the angle grinder. That was a lot of fun. We got all the parts organized for the powder coat. So the swing arm, the bush, took the bushings out of the swing arm. That was a hell of a job. My hands are killing me right now. I smashed my hands a few times with the hammer. We got our parts soaking here in a bucket. So those are bubbling away. We'll get all the grease off those, and then I'll clean them up. So that's going to be next. I'll try and clean up the aluminum parts. I got to take apart the forks, and we'll get those all cleaned up, taken apart. I got to measure the springs in the forks and see if they need replacing. They probably do. I've been sitting in there for about 40 years, so those will probably need some replacing. Our aluminum parts are soaking away. We're going to clean those off. I still haven't finished the tires, taking the tires off the rims. When I get some tire irons, I'll get the tires off the rims here, so that way I can despoke the rims and get the hubs and all cleaned up, and I'll let those soak for a while too. So still a bunch more stuff to do before I can get ready to start looking at the engine, recondition some of the parts, get everything ready for powder coat, and eventually get this frame powder coated after I do some welding. I'm gonna get it welded. Have to fit a new back end on the frame, because I want to put a loop back there. So I have to get that all sorted out, and then getting pretty close to having a rolling chassis, getting everything done. Then I could start looking into the engine and everything. So getting pretty good. Got some good progress done today. I'll shine up these aluminum parts, shine up the hubs, and we'll get everything nice and pretty. So I already got some buffing compound, some sandpaper. Going to do a wet sand combination of stuff. So make sure you tune in again, because we still got a lot more stuff to do with the bike. Thanks for watching.
Wrenching it up, gonna wrench it up. Yeah, wrenchity-roo, wrench-roo.
I think I blew the power.